This is my first mandala. Watching the process in time-lapse feels like a practice unfolding, deliberate, repetitive, and focused. I want to walk you through what I'm doing and why it matters to me, both artistically and spiritually. Mandalas occupy a central place in many Buddhist traditions. At their core, they are symbolic maps, condensed worlds that structure meaning, guide meditation, and offer a focus for transformation. Historically, mandalas take many forms: painted cloths, wall murals, and the especially striking sand mandalas. Sand mandalas are built grain by grain, color by color, with exacting care. Monks or practitioners work for hours or days. Each placement is intentional and communal. In ritual settings, these mandalas often represent a deity's palace or a sacred cosmos, used as an arena for visualization and identification. I begin this mandala with the seed of life, the simple overlapping circles that generate proportion and pattern. The seed of life functions as a geometric root. It symbolizes creation, interconnection, and the underlying order from which complexity grows. From that starting point, the composition radiates outward. Each ring, petal, and repeating motif is both structural decision and meditative prompt. One more return to center, one more act of attention. That unfolding mirrors certain Buddhist cosmologies in which inner processes map onto outer form. The creation and ritual destruction of sand mandalas are inseparable. After painstaking construction comes a ceremonial dismantling. The sand is swept together, blessed, and returned to water or dispersed. That deliberate dissolution teaches impermanence, beauty and precision are temporary, and letting go becomes practice. The value of the work lies not in permanent possession but in the attention and transformation generated during making, and in offering that energy back to the world. Making a mandala is itself a meditative discipline. The rhythm of mark making, the repetition of pattern, and the slow accumulation of detail train attention much like breath or mantra practice. In Vajrayana contexts, mandala, mantra, visualization, and gesture work together so the practitioner recognizes identity with a deity, a shifting of perception that is imaginal and somatic. Outside that doctrinal frame, creating a mandala still asks the maker to slow down, hold attention without judgment, and return again and again to a center. As the Buddha instructs, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. That is exactly what the work asks of me: presence, not projection. There is something both mechanical and sacramental in the process. Mechanically, stippling and line work require tiny, repeated motor actions, small, controlled motions that build form over time. Sacramentally, each tiny dot or line becomes an offering of attention. This marriage of the physical and the devotional is what makes the activity practical and profound. My hand registers my interior state. When I am agitated, the line is less steady. When I am calm, the pattern flows. Over time, the practice becomes a biofeedback loop. Focused attention cultivates calm, and calm improves focus. I bring this practice into my life because first, I'm a Marine Corps veteran living with PTSD. Structured, embodied practices are essential for managing stress and anxiety. The mandala gives me a bounded task that channels hypervigilance into form. Instead of a mind scattering in multiple directions, attention narrows to proportion, line, and value. The mandala does not erase trauma, but it changes my relationship to it, turning scattered energy into shape and inviting surrender in a controlled, intentional way. That containment matters. It is not avoidance but a method for staying present with what I carry. I chose a graffiti-style background intentionally. Street art claims and transforms public space. It is immediate, communal, and often transient. Graffiti exists where paint peels and new layers override old ones. Placing an inward, meditative mandala on that backdrop suggests integration. Contemplative practice does not have to be sequestered in temples. It can exist in alleys, on buses, and in the margins. The juxtaposition creates a dialogue between interior work and public life, between ritual and everyday expression. As the image slowly resolves in black and white, notice the way pattern and rhythm emerge before color appears. The early stages focus attention on structure, circle, proportion, balance. Those formal choices do the same work meditation does. They orient the mind toward a center. The stippling builds tone like a sustained exhale. Each small dot accumulates into a field of calm. Near the end of the time-lapse, I introduce color. I choose red, orange, and yellow as the dominant tones, with small hints of blue. Those colors are intentional. Red and orange feel like fuel, heat, vitality, transformation. Yellow brings luminosity and warmth. The blue hints offer contrast and cooling space. The center reads to me as a fire lotus, an image that fuses combustion and blossoming. The lotus has long symbolized purity arising from mud. The fire lotus intensifies that image, suggesting that intense energy can catalyze unfolding rather than simply consuming. In the context of my practice, the color shift becomes a reveal. The black and white structure holds attention, then color opens a new emotional register. I sign the piece as a marker of authorship and a moment in an ongoing practice. Signing does not imply absolute ownership. Instead, it is accountability within a process that ultimately values flow over fixity. The creation-destruction cycle reframes perfection. The mandala invites care without clinging. It asks the maker to be meticulous and then to practice non-attachment. I see this mandala as the beginning of a larger body of work. The discipline of geometry, the patience of stippling, and the intentionality of process feel generative. Future pieces will explore different seeds, centers, palettes, and contexts. Each mandala is a continuation of practice rather than a pursuit of product. If you are moved to try something similar, know the practice does not require mastery. It requires patience in the sense of repeated returns. Start with a simple seed, choose a limited set of marks, and allow the process to hold you. If you are carrying anxiety or trauma, the work can offer a quiet scaffold for presence. If you are simply curious, it can teach humility. Making well often includes letting go. In closing, mandala building is a technology of attention, a pedagogy of impermanence, and an arena for transformation. It brings together image and ritual, craft and surrender. For me, it becomes a vessel, a place to place things down and a method for returning to the present. Slow down with me, notice the small decisions of the hand, and consider how ritualized creativity might be a practical tool for resilience, connection, and care. Thank you for watching.